Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing what we could be seeing this fall, such as temperatures, precipitation, and what it will mean for peak foliage and when it could arrive, as well as how the colors will be, or if the chances in the Northeast, if the leaves in the trees will just die instead of turning more colorful than usual. Now looking at temperatures, near normal in the southeast, but then still below average in the central plains, especially warm there. We'll get to that later with temps. Slightly below in California and Nevada, but still more than it has been. Above average even more as you get closer to Washington, and then above average in the Great Lakes. Normal to slightly below in the coastal New England states going into the Mid-Atlantic. And then in the southeast, especially in Arizona, and then really going into Mexico, above average early, then average. Mexico and the southwest has really been seeing a very active monsoonal season. Alright, now going into temps. Oh, by the way, it's worth mentioning that tropical systems are possible, especially in early fall. But yeah, we're going to be watching that. Average in white, and then as you get into the blue, you see cooler, such as the Great Lakes and the upper plains going into Canada. Then in the southern United States, particularly in Texas, going into the Gulf Coast, it will be below average. I have these two mixed up. It says above average up north, but it's really below average for the blue, and the orange is above average. So just switch those words. Anyway, let's go on to our next frame. For tropics, we have to mention this. The darker the color, the more likely it is. So this is our first region. And then we get everything in here, and then our next region is everything in here, and then our hotspots seem to be the Gulf Coast for tracks such as this. We could be seeing some of these tracks in this season, or something like this. But yeah, we really could be having an active tropics. It could be waking up soon. Alright, now let's go into peak foliage time. It could be earlier in the interior Northeast, but then in the coastal Northeast, earlier, however, less impressive peak foliage, and slightly later, but still earlier than average. I believe for our area, we could be seeing something like a late October peak foliage, but it depends on how many warm-ups we have and how consistent they are, because if they are more consistent, and we will of course have updates on this, but if they are more consistent and frequent, we will see it later and later. Alright, now let's get into peak foliage. Above average color in the interior Northeast, especially as you get into the Adirondack Mountains and the mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire. Then below average in the coastal New England and Northeast states, especially as you get into Connecticut, just south of Boston, going into Cape Cod, Rhode Island, and Long Island, and then really as you get into the city of New York City, and then a lot of Long Island, and then getting into Connecticut. Alright, now let's move on to some of the websites. We see for the 6 to 10 day, we see above average temperatures. Precipitation, we see wetter across a lot of the nation, but then drier. In the northern plains, we actually see some moisture getting into places like Texas and the Southwest, where they really need it. In 8 to 14, we see a lot of the same. And then you can see for weeks 3 through 4, the confidence really goes down, but still warmer, as you can see. And then, yeah. For the monthly outlook, we see a lot of drought removal, but then drought persists in Texas, a lot of the west, in the northeast, and into the Great Plains and Midwest, and the drought removal in a lot of the Four Corner states going into north of Oklahoma and near Arkansas. Drought is likely to be forming for the northeast. And yeah, alright, now we'll get into the monitor in 1 second. The 1 month outlook, we see below average temperatures. This is just for the CPC, and these are just thoughts of mine and of the CPC. This is the CPC's outlook, and I just thought I'd create some graphics for you as a thought of what I think might happen. Anyway, snow, nothing yet, but it should be coming soon with we're getting closer to fall. But now let's just end up with the drought monitor. You can actually see throughout the Four Corners it's getting lessened, and the Texas and California are hotspots right now, and even into the northeast we see some drought development. Still a severe drought for New York City, New Hampshire, Maine, Boston, Connecticut, and Rhode Island, and severe drought, and then extreme drought for Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So definitely not good to see. Just a brief update on the tropics. Nothing formed out of Index 98L. We have Tropical Depression 10E, which is expected to become post-tropical and will not become a tropical storm, most likely. The JTWC 3A, I believe, dissipated. Maybe its remnants still traceable. And then Miri is likely post-tropical now. I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. We do have some discussions with marginal risks, but no watches likely. Alright, we could be seeing some thunderstorms move into our area by day 3. But yeah, we'll have more updates to come soon. Thank you for watching. No fire risk to come soon, and yeah, this will do it for today. Thank you for watching. We actually have a few more things to go over. Slightly earlier for cooler temperatures arrival, such as freezes and frosts. Slightly earlier for the first freezes and frosts in the light blue, and earlier in the darker blue, and then in that cyan color for the coastal region. Slightly earlier, however, frequent changes in temperatures are possible, especially in that region. Now, going on to something else. For the CPC, we have a tropical cyclone formation possible in the red for week 2 in the MDR, as the tropics are really picking up. Now, one last thing to go over is the excessive heat possibility for the west, as a heat wave is ongoing. And yeah, that is actually going to do it for today now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon.